Hello and welcome. You are watching CNN News 18 with me, Harshita. Let's begin with the top focus that we're tracking this hour. It's a CNN News 18 exclusive input. We are learning that Turkey and Azerbaijan, which sided with Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, have witnessed a massive setback from Indian tourists. According to the latest data, between May and August, the number of Indian tourists visiting Azerbaijan dropped by 70%, while visits to Turkey fell by 38%. This decline is a significant blow to both countries, which had been rapidly growing in popularity among Indian travelers. Indian travel portals like Make My Trip and Ease My Trip had also de-incentivized travel to these two countries. And we are joined by Aman Sharma on this broadcast. Aman, this tells us that Operation Sindoor not only impacted Pakistan, but those backing Pakistan as well. How do you see this?
Well, Harsh, after Operation Sindoor in May, the role of Turkey and Azerbaijan in openly backing Pakistan had come to light, I would say, about May 10th, May 12th, when India also made it public with all these drones which were sent to India from the Pakistan side were all Turkish-made drones. We also had the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and their Field Marshal Asim Munir visiting Turkey and Azerbaijan after Operation Sindoor to personally thank these governments for the support they had given to Pakistan, both diplomatically as well as giving these arms as Turkey did. This led to the calls for boycott of Indian tourists of going to Turkey, because these two countries are where Indian tourists throng in the summer months. Azerbaijan being visa-free, you get a lot of Indian tourists there. Turkey as well, a lot of Indian tourists go there. So what we are analyzing now is the figures, tourism figures between June and August, June, July, August, 3 months, when this impact has really shown up. Indian tourists going to Azerbaijan are down by 70%. That is a big drop for Azerbaijan. And Indian tourists going to Turkey are down by 38%. These are the latest figures that we're accessing from Turkey and Azerbaijan tourism records. I will read out these figures to you. Last year, between June and August, nearly 70,000 Indian tourists had gone to Azerbaijan. This year, between June and August, only about 20,631 tourists have gone to Azerbaijan. That's nearly a 70% drop to this country. If I speak to Turkey, last year between June and August, nearly 94,000 Indian tourists visited Turkey during these 3 months. This year, only 58,500 odd Indian tourists have gone to Turkey. Again, a 38% drop in the Indian tourists going to Turkey as well. And this also comes, in the backdrop of, as you were saying, the leading travel firms like Make My Trip, Ease My Trip, disincentivizing package trips, tourism packages to these two countries. They had taken a national stand to say that we will also not incentivize any discounts on these packages to make people not go to these countries maybe. And we also saw the Prime Minister, interestingly, in June, Harsh, go to Cyprus and make that comment, because Cyprus has a long-standing boundary rivalry with Turkey, and the Prime Minister on his way to the G7 in Canada made it a point to stop by in Cyprus, go in fact even to that border territory to see where Turkey occupies Cyprus land. So I think India has also made it very clear that these two countries have, on the global arena, global diplomatic levels, backed Pakistan, backed the terrorism of Pakistan against India. And that is why I think Indian tourists have also taken the cue with this big fall we are seeing in the tourism numbers, both Azerbaijan as well as Turkey. Azerbaijan, in fact, seeing, as I said, a 70% drop.
Right, Aman. But if you could tell our viewers, what is the real bone of contention here? Why take a stand against India, that too for a nation like Pakistan?
Well, see, Turkey and Azerbaijan, Harsh, have a vested interest in Pakistan. They have strategic interests as well as also the broader, Islamic Brotherhood. I would say that is why Turkey and Azerbaijan have taken that pro-Pakistan stand against India. We have been witnessing it. In fact, earlier also, the Turkish president has been making anti-India statements on various diplomatic forums as well. And India has noted that with deep regret. And India, in fact, wants to expose also Turkey and Azerbaijan's role, that you are backing a country which is openly sponsoring terror into India. The Pahalgam terror attack, there have been global condemnation of the Pahalgam terror attack, but not by Turkey and Azerbaijan. They have continued to back Pakistan, and I think Indian tourists are now showing the way by dropping out from going to these countries. This is also a big blow, Harsh, to the tourism economy of especially a country like Azerbaijan, which had Indian tourism really picking up. I think India was at number 2 or number 3 country sending the most number of tourists to Azerbaijan. So I think Azerbaijan, it really impacts a lot with the 70% drop in Indian tourists, because they are in a big way dependent also on the tourism economy. So I think Indian tourists making a point, and the government with this unofficial, I would say, this saying that we should avoid these two countries because they are openly backing Pakistan on the global level.
Right, Aman. Many thanks, Aman, for gathering all that.
informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.